1973, Los Angeles, California. The premiere of the movie billed by many as the most terrifying of all time, The Exorcist. Based on the harrowing tale of a child possessed by a demon and exorcised by a Catholic priest. The film leaves audiences horrified.
Dramatic.
Disgusting.
Written and produced by William Peter Blatty, it puts the devil center stage in popular culture.
People watched this movie and they could no longer deny the reality of evil in the world today.
Even more terrifying than the movie is the fact that it's based on a true story. A priest's detailed account of the possession and exorcism of a young boy in an ordinary family that occurs in St. Louis, Missouri in 1949.
I believe the church tried to really keep this case closed so as not to draw undue attention to the devil.
The church believes the real story confirms a horrifying possibility. That the devil is real and active in the modern world, not just in movies and bestsellers. And that he can strike anyone, anywhere, anytime. One man dedicated to finding out exactly what happened in 1949 is author and historian Troy Taylor.
The story behind the Exorcist is one that has just always fascinated me. No one's ever been able to explain it or even understand it. We don't know if it was a real battle between good and evil. We don't know if it was some sort of hoax or a prank gone awry. After all this time, 60 some odd years have passed and still no one has a clear answer.
In a quest to see if possession is a genuine phenomenon, Troy has tracked down one of the participants in the final days of that exorcism. Greg Holowinski is a 93-year-old retired Catholic monk.
I really appreciate you taking the time to meet with me.
For the first time ever, he is prepared to go on record.
About
Dying of cancer, he now believes the world should hear his story. The event he witnessed as a young man haunts him to this day.
Can you tell me, what were you doing back in April of 1949?
I was working at the Election Brothers Hospital in St. Louis, Missouri, at which time we had an episode going in the hospital that was sort of hush-hush, and I inquired around and found out we had a young boy who was possessed supposedly by the devil.
Did you get involved then in the exorcism?
Yes, I did.
The boy is kept in a locked room on the upper floors of the hospital building.
The first night I went up, there was a boy laying in bed. There were 3 priests that were the exorcists.
His eyes were closed tight. He reacted differently when the possession took place.
Omnes immunde spiritus, omnes satanic potestas.
Every now and then the devil, using the boy's voice, could curse and swear. I was at the foot of the bed and had my arms crossed over from his ankle to his knee. I was frightened. And then something just unbelievable. You could feel the powers of the devil. I saw the boy's body levitate. What I saw was real. What I touched was real. It was an experience that I would never forget.
One theory put forward to explain the case is that the boy is hoaxing the signs of possession.
Do you believe that in any way the boy could have been faking it?
No way. Anybody with common sense, just walking in, seeing that, knows that it couldn't be faked.
Greg also witnesses another apparent demonstration of supernatural power.
During the prayers of the possession, the priest wears a stole. It's a fine silk ribbon. The devil, using the boy's hand, reached over and snatched that silk cloth. And within a split second, it was 1,000 threads.
What Greg witnesses appears impossible to fake.
Well, it doesn't seem as though it was a hoax of any kind. So what was it that could have caused this family and these priests to go through an exorcism that went on and on for months?
Theory of the human race.
Can science provide an answer?
Destroyer of life.
Or could dark forces truly be at work?
Perhaps the boy had tried to use a Ouija board to communicate with her after she had died.
Troy Taylor is in St. Louis, at the very house where the exorcism began. Might everybody who saw the exorcism be sharing a mass religious delusion? Seeing things that aren't really there because they all hold a communal belief that demonic possession can take place. Troy has arranged to meet Terry Cooper, professor of psychology at St. Louis Community College. Terry has also studied the St. Louis exorcism for over 15 years.
All the priests involved believed in Satan. They believed in possession. They believed this could have been something that was supernatural. They were ready to entertain that as a possibility. There was an outstanding physics professor at Washington University, Dr. Frank Bubb, and he was involved in this case briefly. And he was suspicious, but he saw a table levitate, and he quickly changed his mind and thought there was something that may be beyond the natural realm occurring here. That doesn't lend a whole lot of credibility to the idea that it was a group kind of hysteria or delusion going on here.
So if the case isn't a hoax, could there be something much more sinister?
Is there a possibility that there was a demonic possession? Or was it the devil? It's not something that can be dismissed.
Troy came to this story a skeptic, but after all he's learnt, he's beginning to think again.
It wasn't until talking to Brother Greg about the final moments of the exorcism that I became willing to accept the idea that there was a supernatural aspect to this case. He was there, he witnessed it firsthand, and after talking to him, I really truly believe that something very strange happened in St. Louis in 1949.
I think the devil's still here. Possession can happen today, any place in the world.